This is Sheila with Stampin' Wishes and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to be doing a quick and simple card. Back a few months back I did this card with my clubs and it was real fun, real easy, and it kind of opens like so. And so I thought, how fun would that be if I could incorporate that to use a 6x6, because on the other I was using 12x12. So I came up with this design here. And this is what it looks like on the inside. And this was another one that I did. And it opens up like this. So what we're going to do is change up the color a little bit and the designer paper. And so let's go ahead and get started. I used the Shine Bright, and I'm using this particular stamp in it, which is the front stamp that I did, and I'm going to emboss that in silver. And these I had gold, but I have silver accents on this next one. And then I also used, let me show you, these particular, if you have not gotten this step, I just love these. In that other card I showed you, you can see down below here where I had used this particular fern across, and then the red behind it showed up behind the berries, making them look red. And so today we use, because the theme of the particular paper is kind of that snowy paper, you know, so I thought that would be kind of fun to do the snowflakes on the inside. And so that's what I did by taking it across there, and then I will place it when we start assembling it with the silver, so it'll be real pretty behind there. And that will incorporate with the inside of the paper, which also has the silver snowflakes. So I thought that'd be real cute. So what you do is you take your 6x6 piece of DSP, you'll cut it at 4 inches, and then you're going to cut it at 3 inches. And then at that 3 inch, you'll score 1/4 mark on each one. So that's where you get your 6. And then these pieces, because I'm going to, instead of using a full piece like you normally do, when you do these with the 12x12, I'm going to do this on the inside, and then this will lay on top and you'll never know it's not. So that's what we're going to do there. So let's put this aside here. And we'll go ahead and stamp the inside and adhere it. And what I'm using on the inside of this is from, oh man, I'll put it up on the screen. I think yeah, I'm pretty sure that I took it out of the, I think it was the Pine, Perfectly Plaid stamp set is where this came from, and I'll put all that information, measurements and everything. So let's go ahead and line this up, and I used my little nick marks here so that I make sure that the stamp should line up nicely with it. So let's see if it does. Let me move that where I can see it. And it may get a little bit into that, so I'm going to pull it up just a tad. Okay, let's see how this does now. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and use silver, since that's what I'm using for it. So let me bring out all my items that I'm going to be using today. You know, we could use the Seaside Spray, because I'm using that as well. Let's try the Seaside Spray. It's handy, and my Night at Navy is across the room, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's ink this up. Oh, that's beautiful. That color's perfect with it. I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this so I don't get ink all over me and all over my project. And we'll clean this off real quick. Okay, so now what we want to do is go ahead and do our embossing. So let me bring my other Stamparatus in that I've got. Oh, by the way, isn't this cute? I just got those in today. I'd ordered them, and I just absolutely love them. They're just really cute. And I love Paper Pumpkin. So if you haven't subscribed to it and would like to, I would love to have you as a customer, and I'll be glad to help you subscribe to it each month. And they've come out with some really cute projects. Okay, so I understand that we're out of the refills on this. This is in our holiday catalog, and we're out of the refills on it. And so if you haven't gotten this, and they still have the stamp sets available, the problem's going to be is that you won't have your ink refill with it. I did get both my ink refills with this because I plan on using them. I love the silvers and the golds, and hopefully they'll bring them back into our either our next catalog or our annual catalog is what I'm hoping as a standard stamp set, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm going to come down here and I want to make sure that I get a couple of, or it could just be that it's light. And I'm going to do it one more time. I see the colors starting to come out now. I think that's what it is. We used it in one of my classes not long ago, and I probably needed to re-ink it. So I'll just make sure that I give it a good inking here. I think that'll work. A lot of times I like to use our inks that are slow to dry like this is because it's a thicker ink. And I should have used my embossing powder first, but I got carried away. I even had it stacked over there, but I think we'll be okay. So let's go ahead and place this over there. And place it on here. Make sure you flick off all that excess. That looks great. Okay. All right, let's put that off to the side and get off the excess embossing powder there. All right, I'm going to use, blow that off, make sure it looks like there's still a little bit of embossing powder. I really don't want it to, so I'm going to go real lightly over this. That's why it's important to use your embossing powder. Oh, that looks like it took it off then. Okay, but again, that's why you do want to use your embossing buddy so that you don't run into that kind of problem. Okay, let's go ahead. I'll probably be muting this so you don't have to listen to it and speeding the time on it. So that looks great. All right, so I've got my blends out, and I thought I would use the Seaside Spray, but I also brought out my light Night of Navy because I wasn't real sure if this is going to be as dark as I want it to be for the shading. So let's go ahead and give it a try and see what we get. And what I'm doing is just going into where the folds of the ribbon, the inside of the ribbon would be, and darkening them up. And then anytime you have ribbon that flows like this, you want to bring it down and then back up like so. And that just love it. Let's see if I can incorporate it in with this today. So let's go ahead and bring in the lighter. We'll do that because I want to still keep some of those different shadings in there. That's just, this is, I don't know if the camera does it justice, but it is absolutely beautiful. Love how it came out. All right, there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and I cut me out a piece that was 4 by 2 inches. I wasn't real sure how wide I wanted this because it's going to be attached here, and but I knew I wanted it wider in case I wanted to try and get some of the ribbon incorporated in it, because I just love this ribbon. And I think we can and still leave some spots. We might even be able to do it this way and bring the ribbon right there. Let's see how that looks. I think I'm going to put it on the edge and center that back. So let's go ahead and do that. I like to get this and kind of attach it to the back here. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do the same thing because the other portion of this on the bottom would show when we flip it over unless we do a complete all the way around. This part won't show, but that other part would. So we'll have to look at whether that's the direction we want to go with it. But again, we'd have to bring it all the way around. So let's see how this looks and see if it kind of feels like it's off. I think this might work real well, just as a little piece up there. I don't want to put a bow on it because I don't want to distract from the bow that's in this. So I think we may do something like that. Let's go ahead and start constructing our card now. So let's put that to the side and bring our pieces that I've still got that embossing going on there. All right, so let's bring our base in. And what we're going to do is the larger one is the one that I have here, and it goes over the top there, okay? And even though they're the same, it seems like one of them, and it's probably just an illusion. So let's go ahead and get some of our adhesive tape, and we're going to put it across here down a little bit because this will be covered by all of our inside pieces as well. But I feel like the flaps going up and down will be better supported with this. So let's do that. All right, let's take this off. Let's go ahead and we want to line this up where that we have a little bit of a edging on the front. So you're going to kind of keep an eye that you not only get the sides equal before you let this go down. Let's do it this way. I think I'll be able to see it a little better. Where's my folder? Let's bring that a little flatter. That way it won't be trying to open up while I'm doing this. And that looks great right about there. So let's go ahead and open that up. And then the same thing with this one. Let's go ahead and use the bone folder and flatten it down so it's not sticking out while we're trying to balance it. Okay, that looks great. All right, so let's go ahead and open these up. Got a little bit of that adhesive still there, but that's going to be covered by the back. So let's go ahead and get this onto the silver. My preference of adhesive when I'm putting cards together really is the Tombow glue. So it gives me some movement action, and like then I probably should have gone ahead and used it because then I could have moved it around a little bit. I just felt like the tear and tape might be a little stronger for the mechanism in this card, the way it opens and closes. There we go. That looks great. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this down into the center. At some point I even thought about putting ribbon behind the snowflakes on this, but better thinking through it, I thought, no, I think it looked pretty with just the silver enhancement to each other. But isn't that gorgeous? Look at that, beautiful. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this down. Now the next thing I need to do is adhere this, but I want to make sure I've got a nice little balance here. So let's go ahead and adhere it. Now one of the things that I did, and that's why I'm adding a piece behind it, is that I had put just this strip down on one of the cards, and lo and behold, when I flipped it out, I saw that my coloring was on there, so you don't want that to happen. And I think we'll bring that about right here. So I'll make sure that, see how when this flips open, it'll just be that. So let's go ahead and use our liquid up here. Now, as many of you know, I love my Wink of Stella, so we will be using a little bit of the Wink of Stella on this card. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love it. Very, very pretty. Yeah, that ribbon really adds to it there. And if you think that this, needs to go down, I don't have my glue dots handy, but I'll put a little glue dot up underneath it to make sure that it's stable. Alright, but it looks like this may be off a little bit. Oh well, we're not going to fool with that right now. I think it's gorgeous like it is. So let's go ahead and do our Wink of Stella on. I did use Whisper White on the inside, but I used some scrap of my Shimmery White on the outside to give me that shimmer along with this. And I think what we'll do, I think it'd be pretty, is to bring some blueberries, even though berries are usually red. This is our card, so we're going to make them blue. And I think they're beautiful. Alright, so we have our card finished. And as you can see, didn't take long at all. So let's bring the other ones in. So you can see the variety. You can make just all kinds. See, this was the one that I made the mistake on, and what I'll do is just come in with a white panel behind it, and that'll cover it up, and it'll look real nice. So anyway, until next time, happy creating, and God bless.